welcome to the Healing Invoker. It is so lovely to have you here. I am Dorina. I'm a mental and emotional fitness coach, so I help you with your emotions, but I'm also a numerologist. So the tools I usually use to help my clients is through journaling and numerology. And numerology is always so interesting because it's the vibration of numbers. But today, as the holidays are coming up, I decided to kind of dress festive because there's something that needs to be talked about. And this is not about numerology. This is not about, it's about life in general and how we perceive life to be. I know there's songs that say that Christmas is the most wonderful time of the year, Easter, whatever. There's no Easter song anyway. However, one thing that I talk about a lot on the lives is, or in general, is that everyone has their own seasons. So as much as if you're in the southern hemisphere, it's summertime for you. If you're in the northern, it's winter. But we can have winter and summer concurrently. So meaning that it could be sunny in someone's world where there's lots of joy, and in other places people could be going through their own darkness. And sometimes when people are going through their darkness, it's hard to hear about other people's joy. And some people, like to stay in misery and they stay in there. But this is not about misery. This is about death. This is about death. And death is a part of life. Death is a cycle as well. And I know a lot of you are preparing for the holidays. Maybe you miss a loved one, someone passed on, or you have to take care of a terminally ill patient. And it is not easy. So this is for you. This is for you who's lost someone you love. This is for you who cannot spend time with your family. And this is for you who has no family at all because you have no one. So this is how to get through the holidays and life in general. And ironically, this video is coming up on a day that I lost a member of a family a year ago, and their birthday was actually, I'm recording it actually on their birthday. So, I need to honor them and remember them. There are different steps of grief. However, grief manifests itself in different ways. It could be feeling numb, So if you're going through these feelings, just know that they're perfectly normal, because when most people, let's say in the northern hemisphere, if someone passes on, they don't really have grieving days. It's not incorporated in the culture. So people don't really have time to process grief, and they feel guilty for grieving because they have to get on with it. So people go through grief really quickly. And that is not normal, because each culture before this whole Industrial Revolution happened had ways in which they grieve. Some people were black for 40 days or spent time in darkness or crying. Some shaved their hair. Some just go on a journey on their own for a couple of days, and some just spend time just sitting. And to be honest, if you do not go through your grieving process, and grieving means feeling all those feelings. I know the first 3 months it's shocking, or I know it's been years, but if you don't go through that grief is going to hold you back from a lot of things. It's going to hold you back from love. It's going to hold you back from joy. It's going to hold you back from your financial abundance. And I know it sounds crazy, but it's true, because the thing is, when you lose someone, and most people who tend to want to live their lives, they experience this guilt of being happy when other people are sad, or that they're moving forward in life. And that is something that we need to let go of in order to experience the fullness of life. For example, with the season, their cycles, death is just part of life, and it's something that we do not really want to talk about. Death also means a new beginning. So when someone passes on, a lot, like there's there's either a birth or something that needs to be celebrated. So everything happens concurrently, and it's the natural phase of life. And most people don't want to talk about death because they fear death. And fearing death is like fearing life. And the funny thing is, a lot of people fear living more than they fear death. Because death, it's final. There's no coming back from that. But living is a chance to actually create and live in a way that feels great. And not everyone feels great anyway, but what I'm really trying to say is, some of you are already dead while you're living. You do not want to have new experiences. You live through other people's experiences. And it's different if you have a terminal illness or you have chronic pain, because there's certain things that you're limited. But some of you have never tried new foods in your life. Some of you don't have friends from other people's cultures, like from other cultures that are opposite to you. Some of you live such a sterile life, and you have no experiences to show for it. And I feel like if you want to die happy, you need to live happy. Because when you're on that deathbed, you're not going to sit down and think about all the things that you regretted. You're going to think about all the experiences you had. Some not so good, some not so great, some very sad, some jarring, but just knowing that you did them and you made yourself happy. Not only that, but that you had an impact in someone's life. Because sometimes we impact people in someone's life. It could be in little ways, big ways. There are different ways that we impact people. So this is to say that live. Don't think about when I die, because death is a guarantee. The only thing constant in life is change and death. Learn to live, learn to walk in fear, and learn to walk with death. And by that, I mean learn to befriend it, learn to understand it, that it's not something to be afraid of, because we're all heading there someday. We are. And some of you have experiences with different people. They may be positive or negative, but during the holidays, what you should do, if you want to honor them, is leave a plate out for them, make their favorite food, maybe put out their favorite drink, or do something that they like to do. Maybe it was hiking or walking, singing, sing their favorite song. That's a way you can honor someone who's passed. But the best way to honor someone who's passed is by living life to the fullest. How do you live life to the fullest? There's a lot of you who are shackled by the programming that you had. And by programming, meaning the programming is the culture, the environment, the mindset that's been passed down to you. How do you break free from that? If you're a person who has big dreams and big visions, and people keep telling you that it's being delusional, and we need to go from talking about doing things in life and coming into action, because actions do speak louder than words. Because we can talk all day, but if nothing's happening, it's just a thought, right? And then you get upset when you see other people doing the things that you wanted to do, but you're not doing anything about it. So if there's anything that you could take from this video today, is have a funeral for the parts of you that refuse to live, meaning the parts of you that live in fear, the parts of you that blame others for your problems, the parts of you that hurt people, the parts of you that procrastinated, kill that. Kill that. I usually work with my clients about I call it having a funeral for yourself. So write a letter to the parts of you. This is just a tip. Write a letter to the parts of you that you feel never got to show up or never got to experience, and apologize to each part of you. And then after you're done writing that letter, it could get very emotional. Burn it and pray over it. Pray over it. Meditate over it, and make a pact with yourself that you're going to do at least 2 or 3 things on that list. It doesn't have to be a New Year's resolution. It could be maybe you want to climb Mount Kilimanjaro. It could be you want financial stability. It could be you want to get married. It could be you want to have children. It could be you want a new job. So if you want a new job and you want a new career, what do you have to do? You have to study for that career. Get the paperwork, because we live in a world where paperwork matters. Papers matter. And also so that you can be ethical and that people can go to you and not be, and not push you aside because they feel that you don't have experience. Because life is a teacher. Experience is a teacher. But sometimes paperwork backs up that you understand, and most professions maybe have some ethics that you may not know of, and that is why we go study, and that's why we understudy and do a lot of things. And for those of you who want to travel and you've never left your hometown, travel to the next town, or travel a town maybe 100 or 4 hours away from you for lunch or for the day, just to experience something different. Because the more you get used to getting out of your comfort zone, the easier it gets. And in numerology, I've noticed when it comes to people who are dying, or the numbers that always come up for me when I'm doing the readings is 5, 7, and 9. 5 represents huge transformation and change. 7 is introspection. And 7 is just getting to know who you are. So then most people who are either in the 7th personal year or in the 7th essence tend to lose people, or people, if you have nines, when I see those, I know that there's a death. Or before that happens, I see there's 6s in the essence numbers, which basically means 6 means that you're going to be around family, and then or get close to family. If your relationships with family haven't been great, then 6 is the time to fix it. It could be your personal year. It could be in your essence. It could be, So for those of you going through your personal year of 6, just know that you may have challenges with family and challenges with owning who you are and yourself, but don't let that go. Embrace it. And for those of you who've lost people, be gentle with yourself and understand that them leaving leaves space for you to think about what it is that you want in your life. For example, I said this is an 8 here. So what type of relationships do you want to foster? Who showed up for you? Who didn't show up for you? And for a lot of people, just know this is for you who've lost people. People who have never lost anyone significant in their life will never, ever understand the pain that you're going through. And they may not know how to show up for you. And they'll give you blanket statements like, be strong, or you should get over this by now, because they have never walked in your shoes. So love them from afar, and you'll always find your tribe. But be careful not to trauma bond. And to trauma bond means misery loves company. So if you're going through something, if you're going through grief, and then you keep talking about that grief all the time, and you bond, sometimes you bond with someone through a divorce or through grief or through a work situations, and then you move on from that, and then the person gets upset that you're not in it with them, and they get upset that you're not listening to their problems like you used to, but the thing is you're not in that mindset anymore. You're moving on. So be very careful of trauma bonding and energy vampires who see that you're thriving. Energy vampires means people who just drain your energy. Like being around them is draining. Or you always feel somehow like bad around them. You don't understand. They could be telling you something positive, but they're actually siphoning their energy from you. So with that said, how to enjoy the holidays is, if you do not feel like celebrating, you don't have to. There's no one holding a gun to your head that's saying you need to celebrate Christmas. If you don't feel like doing anything, or if you want to keep it simple, if you want to order food, do what you got to do to get through it, and don't stress yourself. Take it easy. Understand that life is a journey, but most of all, understand that you only have one life to live in this body, so make it the best one, and try and do all the things that you wanted to do, so that when your time comes, you do not feel like you missed out on something. And with that said, I wish you the best day, evening, wherever you are. And I will be talking more about this in the Aura Live tomorrow. So I'll leave a link below so you can watch the last live, because the last live was honoring the Advent, and through the Advent I was talking about honoring yourself as well. So check me out there. And the good thing about Aura is that it's available in 5 different languages. So you get it in Korean, Japanese, French, Portuguese, and Spanish, and obviously English. And there's so many tools. There's prayer, there's meditation, there's hypnosis, there's story time, and there are many ways that you can use Aura. So if you'd like to try it, you get to use it for 30 days for free, absolutely free. So then you can check out all the tools that are available there. And if you're interested in working with me, you can find me on the app as well. The link should be down below, and we can have a 30-minute free call. And yeah, and if you would like a numerology reading, I have an offer that I'm gonna keep for a while, until the end of the year. So just book, and then I will give you your reading, and we can do it either live, or if you want a recording, depending on what you feel is best. And be gentle with yourself. Show yourself so much love, so much grace, because grief is a process, and grief doesn't end. Grief is something that you walk with for the rest of your life. But it gets easier when you do the work. And if you don't feel like looking at the pictures, for those of you who don't feel like looking at the pictures, you don't have to look at the pictures. When I lost someone, it took me 2 years to actually look at their picture without actually crying. So just letting you know that there are people out there going through it. And if you happen to be on the Aura app, I have a 7-day grief journaling, which you can try if you sign up for the app, whether you sign up for free or whether you sign up. And then so I'd recommend doing the grief one, or the self-compassion one, or the self-love one. And if you're looking to give yourself more compassion through this grief period, check out my 30-day self-journaling journal. You can find it either on in my shop or on Amazon. So you can, if you're new to journaling, you can do the 7, 14, and 21 day. So it's up to you. Anyway, be very intentional about your healing. Be very intentional about yourself, because you're the only one who gets to look out for yourself. Of course, your guides will guide you, but at the end of the day, you're the one who allows things to happen by taking action. So be gentle with yourself. Light a candle as well for those people that you've lost, in remembrance as well, during the holidays. And if any of this resonated with you, or you have any questions, feel free to comment below. Remember to like, subscribe, and commenting actually pushes the video up for more people to see. So if you really, really got something out of this, share it with your friends. and I will see you soon. And if you want to sign up for a newsletter, I'll be sending a newsletter bi-weekly just to let you know what's going on. Not only numerology, but with basically when it comes to mental and emotional health, and I'll be sending journal prompts as well. So yeah. Okay, so remember to do better, be better, and feel better, and above all else, acknowledge where you are now. Take care.